brought to us by today's speaker. We invite everyone to address our assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, or passionate ideas. Every opinion expressed here is strictly that of the person who gives it. Let us consciously and lovingly agree to disagree if it does not resonate with us. Our speaker for today is Edmund Green, and we would ask you to please come forward and also to say a little bit about yourself as you begin and then make your presentation. Thank you very much.
Good morning. So a little bit about myself. I am, one, speaking, getting over my fear of speaking, still getting over that. Two, I'm owner of Smiley Touch, a massage therapist and energy worker. I've been doing that for about 10 years. Part of my soul's purpose, my mission is to help others through self-discovery so that more peace may flow into their life. A quote that I thought of myself is to nurture the one within and nature will grow. All right. So today I'm talking about, the topic for today is symptoms and signs of gratitude. I'm going to talk a little bit about a time in my life that I went through that, a story that helped me bring me to where I am today. So to start off, two definitions. First definition is, what is a symptom? Symptom is any phenomenon or circumstance accompanying something and serving as evidence of it. And the second is gratitude. Gratitude is a positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative for something or someone in your life. Doing research to find a definition for gratitude, I found an article online. This article was cited by Robert Emmons and Charles Shelton from 2002, psychologists. And they stated that gratitude stems from the recognition that something good happened to you, accompanied by an appraisal that someone, whether another individual or an impersonal source such as nature or a divine entity, was responsible for it. So, and when I was looking, that was I found a couple of different things, and that was perfect for the talk, talking about nature and the divine entity, the talk. All right, so before I start my story, it'll help me to talk a little bit better. Let's close our eyes, if you will, with me, and just take a couple breaths, a couple deep breaths. All right. So a quick story about an event that happened in my life about 10 years ago. In August of 2015, I remember the exact date, I went to a major life-changing event, which was caused by my own selfish behavior without regard to anyone else's feelings. I won't go into the details, but it was a time of severe sadness and depression for me, to the point where it crossed my mind that maybe life would be better if I wasn't here. The realizations that ensued have molded me into the person that I am today. So one of the first realizations was, I was going back trying to figure out the event that happened that seemingly came out of nowhere. And I usually see things coming and can move out the way type of thing. So I went back to try to find out what caused this to happen. So the first realization was the cricket. I went back looking to see what happened. A thought came to mind: when you detect a problem in your life, to go back to the beginning and maybe you'll find a solution. So I decided to retrace my days to find out what went wrong. 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right. So for over a year, there had been a cricket in my home. I don't know if it was the same cricket, but for over a year and a half, of course, always make noise when at the, worst moment in a sense. So a few days before that event happened, I was having a bad day, brought on by my lack of skills in video games. So to take out my angerness, I decided to search out the nuisance of the cricket. This noise always came at the wrong time. And so I searched and searched and searched, and I found it under a chest right next to where I was sitting, which made me even more angry because I had searched for it for months before and couldn't find it. So when I found it, vengefully, I killed the cricket. And I thought finally I could have some peace. A few days later, my life got turned upside down a little bit. So I decided to do some research and realized that throughout history, the cricket is a symbol of good luck through many different cultures for thousands and thousands of years, which led me to believe that the entire previous year, the cricket came into my home to protect me and to keep me safe and bring me good luck. A fact about crickets is that I read in ancient China, crickets were kept as guard pets because they would make noise when they got quiet. That meant danger was coming, which is something that I never knew. And I realized from in scary movies, when the person's walking down and the crickets go silent, danger's coming. So that was the first realization that I had. The second one was a praying mantis. One day I was outside, smoking a cigarette. I don't smoke anymore. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw something, a silhouette of something, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It looked like it was a leaf stuck on the top of the fence, but parts of the leaf was missing, was fall. But it kept calling my attention to it. So I shined my flashlight on the house and saw that it was a praying mantis sitting on top of the fence. And for a while, I just stood there staring at it. We were about 2 feet away from each other. And for me, everything that I was thinking about at that time just went away. I gotta put this thing again. This is in order. So yeah. Wait, no. So again, I did research and I found out the praying mantis stood for, praying mantis is an international sign of peace. It brings calm to your being so that your worries fall away when it comes to you. It also symbolizes patience and balance, among other things. For anyone who remembers, who saw me post a picture of a praying mantis last month, and I said it was the first time that I seen one in 8 years in my yard, that was from the last time that I saw that one. So the next realization that happened was the grasshopper. One day I was driving I was taking my stepdaughter and her mom somewhere. I pulled into a gas station and I noticed that there was a insect on my windshield. I looked closer and it looked like a grasshopper, and I was trying to figure out if I should move it, if I should leave it. I looked at it, it was alive, so I decided to just leave it there and let it be. So I left there, I got on the highway, I drove for about 15, 20 minutes. I stopped somewhere for an hour. I left there and I drove back home for like another 20, 30 minutes. When I got home, the grasshopper was still on the windshield. And I looked at it, I stared at it for a while, and I stared at it for a while, and I looked again to see if it was still living from everything that it went through. And I realized it was still moving. Again, I stared at it for a while, and then I was like, well, it'll leave whenever it's ready. I looked away for a couple seconds to grab my bags, and when I looked back, the grasshopper was gone. So the grasshopper, I decided to do some research about the grasshopper. And I found out the grasshopper symbolizes good luck and good fortune and change and transformation, among other things. It comes to you to let you know to keep moving forward and the things you're going through will work out. And then a fourth realization that happened. My mom had told me about a prayer, the prayer of St. Jude. That was, she told me that to try to find out more about the prayer. She didn't know what it was. She told me to ask one of my residents at the nursing home if they knew it, specifically one of my Catholic residents. They might know. So the next time I went to work, I asked one of my residents, Mary Ann Arinsky, if she knew the prayer. She said yes, and she told me that it's a prayer for hope when all else has failed. Now, I hadn't told her anything about my situation, but she said she would make sure she said the prayer for me because she knew that I really needed it. I started to cry. So as I laid her down for her afternoon nap, she said to me, "Thank you for always taking such good care of me. I know I could be a handful sometimes, but you were the only one who was always patient and kind to me." 2 days later, I received a sign that my life would be okay. I could breathe again. I went to work. The next time I was able to go to work, I went to work to let Mary Ann know the prayer was answered, but she wasn't there. The night of the day that I saw her was her last night on earth. And I realized one of the last things she did was pray for me. So I'm forever grateful for her. So out of all of that, a question for you, how long do you think all of those events took place? Anybody? So with the thing going on and all the realizations that I had, I just recently, and this was 10 years ago, I originally thought that all of this took place over the space of 2 months. All of this happened in less than 1 month. Wow. So, and that I found that when I was looking up, I found the obituary card thing for Mary Ann Arinsky and saw when she passed away. That's when I realized that it was like 3.5 weeks that all of this happened. So, what did I learn from these experiences? 1, gratitude is one of the many cycles of life, and it always comes back around to you. 2, my life experiences are the reason that I am standing here today, and I'm grateful for all of them, the ups and the downs. And 3, someone somewhere is grateful for you and what you've done for them. It could be as little as that smile you gave, that door you held open, or that last carton of eggs you left, even though you wanted to buy 2. They will always remember that small gesture. It may have changed their day or their life for the better and forever. For someone or something divine or natural is always with you, watching over you, whether you realize it or not. And one of the last things that taught me was that the answers you seek are usually right in front of you, as long as you open your eyes. It could be on a billboard or in a song or maybe on your windshield. It's going pretty fast. So to before, I have a question to close with, but before that, we do another breathing exercise. So, deep positive breathing. It is in through your nose, hold for a few seconds, and out through your nose. While you're doing this breathing exercise, think about something that you are grateful for. When you're ready, open your eyes. How's everybody feeling? Good. All right. So to close, I leave you with this question to ponder. Are you grateful for your life, your entire life, and everything that you've experienced? Because it's brought you to where you are today. And thank you. That's the end of my talk.
Thank you very much, Edmund. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Of course I do. So thank you for that talk, and thank you for sharing your stories. That I don't know what insects are your totem, but that's great. Better than me to say that. But I also wonder, like, so you had to have been somewhat aware. You said you weren't where you are today, but you were kind of in a rocky place when you killed the cricket.
Yes.
But you still knew enough to look it up and then to start to figure out. And then you noticed the grasshopper, you noticed the praying mantis, and that sort of thing. So you must have been on your path a little bit even before the cricket incident.
So I guess more so from in 2013, my one of my best friends passed away, and I was helping. Actually, a few different things happened after he passed away that kind of opened my eyes to other things. One was hearing him actually talk to me. I was thinking about asking Lady out, and we were driving. I was helping her, his ex-girlfriend move, and I was thinking about it in my head, and I heard him say to me to ask her out. Said, "Clear as day, you got this. Go ahead." So that was something that happened. A couple other things happened before that. So I guess those things kind of opened my eyes to that. Yeah, there was a smoke detector that was going off that just I don't know why it was going off. And a couple times when I was speeding that I was saved. Yeah, so, yeah.
All the grace. Thank you.
So.
Thank you, Edmund. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your talk, and I just like you to know I'm really glad you decided to stay here on the earth.
Yes.
Your talk, I think, touched the heart of many.
What else you can say?
Enough said.
Yes, Lydia.
I just wanted to say that, you know, I didn't think of looking up the mouse or whatever, rat or whatever was in my bedroom. But this was only like a month ago that I had this, and it's like every night I had to hear this mouse, and I'm thinking, okay, why am I creating this mouse in my, you know, it was annoying to me when I go into bed, you know, and I did think though, you know, I need to heal something in my life to have this mouse go away, because I'm not going to call it an exterminator. It's just going to go away. You know, it's in the walls or something. It just kept digging. It was just, you know, there's no. I've had crickets in my life too. I get that too. That's not a pleasant thing either. But I just wanted to say that I'm now going to look it up. After hearing your talk, I just never thought of looking up a mouse. You know, no, but thank you for that, because that was a thought. And by the way, the mouse did stop once I started fixing things in my life. It didn't go away.
Yeah, it's something that I realized over the year. Ever since then, like whenever if I'm doing something and a insect or an animal seemingly comes to me, or if I'm going through something and I like come out of a building and there's a crow there or something like that, if I feel it's necessary, I will look it up when I get a chance to see if there's a meaning to it. The same thing with repeating numbers, something like that. While we kind of see them all the time, sometimes if you are, I realize if you are going through something, or if you need some guidance and you see a repeating number 444 or 111 or 123, etc., that to look it up and see if if it symbolizes something that will help you or guide you with what you're going through.
Ernie.
Yeah, I had a fly in my apartment, and it ended up inside of my speaker. And there's no way I could get it out, and it lasted over a month. And every now and then I'd hear this going on inside a speaker at night and during the day. It was totem I don't understand for the fly. Chew fly don't bother me.
Yes.
I really appreciated your St. Jude story. It's still moving me now. Healed me from some of my Catholic toxins. The way you told the story, you bring that prayer back to life for me. And it was something that I know my ancestors are praying that I will remember all the good things of the tradition. But you make that prayer real, and I'll go learn that prayer, and I'm going to be using it myself. The other thing, just between me and you, the way you hug is, I do a lot of work with veterans, and the way you hug is a way to be with a man who's watching the perimeter. And what I mean by that I know that wherever you are, if trouble comes into the room, before trouble can get to anybody else, you will go there first. I know this about you, and so I'm glad you're alive, and I hope you live a really long time.
Anyone else? Yes. Okay. Yes.
Your talk was very heartwarming and great. I mean, it's the best I've heard in a long time for somebody who doesn't know how to speak. And I'm sorry. He said it was wonderful. It was very heartwarming and great.
It was heartwarming and great, she said. And the best she's heard in a long
For somebody who can't speak too, you said it's hard for you're learning how to speak.
Yeah.
And I worked in the prayer of St. Jude. I'm going to pull it out because I used to pray it all the time. And I worked in a Catholic nursing home doing activities with the room now. And I feel you because I love them so much, those people. The best things I ever did. So thank you.
Yes, back
I
there.
had a cousin named Jude, and she was the original hippie who went in '67 to the corner of 8th and Ashbury and came back with drug problems and was literally just like the original hippie.
Somebody real quick.
Yes, you may.
Go ahead.
I just have a quick comment. Thank you so much for your talk. I appreciate it. I know how hard it is to start getting up and speaking, and so I appreciate you doing that. And the cricket, the praying mantis, and the grasshopper, when you spoke of them, it took me to places where, and at times in my life when they come into my life as well. But I wanted to share it on YouTube. Scientists took the cricket and slowed its lifespan down, the sound the cricket makes, as if it would live like we do, 80 years. And what they found is the cricket is the song of the angels. So Google that on YouTube, and you'll hear the crickets when they slowed it down to a lifespan of like 80 years. It sounds like angels singing. So the angels are with you, just bringing those lessons in, and also with us now. Thank you so much.
So I just want to say one or two quick things, or a couple of quick things real quick. So I no longer try to, I go out of my way now not to kill any insects if I possibly can. So that's why, like, when, even if I find a dead insect or something somewhere, I'll try to take it somewhere and bury it or put it with nature. So I was doing that day while the bees were in here. I was trying to take them outside. That and the next time I'm talking. So today was the first time I talked. I picked the 13 because it was my lucky number. This talk, I didn't actually pick the date. Cindy presented this date to me, and when we were doing one of our hikes, someone asked me why I picked today. And I just said it just came out of nowhere, pretty much. I just, that's what I was offered. Carrie made me realize that 26 is a derivative of 13. It's 2 13s. So, and also on my calendar, I don't know if I said it the first time I talked, I have a 90-day calendar that has 105 days on it. When I started, instead of putting a month in each one, I started just marking all of the days. So the first time that I did it, the first month, the first day of the first spot was 8/13. And again, it's 11/26. And again, I'll be speaking on March 10th, which is also 13, which is also the start of the new calendar again. So, and it's 104 days in between each one. So, yes.
He's a man after my own heart. He likes numbers. Yes.
Yeah, I know that the praying mantis and the grasshopper are one of my totems. I never thought about the cricket, but we had a cricket in our basement when I was growing up that I used to listen to, but I never did. But sometimes when I see the praying mantis or one of those insects on my screen door, it might look like it's deformed, and that's a spirit angel. Spirit insect.
Okay.
Keep in mind, they come in different forms.
So one of the measures of any talk is how much discussion it generates, and you got a whole lot. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
usher in our time for healing, truth, and messages from Spirit, please rise for our